Hey, look, Menulog.
I'd lose a lot of my Australianisms on LPL, but coming back here, I'm saying things like, how you going?
There you going. And that's exactly what I'm going to be saying to Kitty. And Kitty, how you going?
I'm going great, mate, but someone else who was going great is Rogue, so let's pull him in for the interview.
I'm not
Why are
doing
you guys
great.
dying?
I'm doing terrible. I was going to put the tie on for the interview, but I've sat here for like 3 minutes, and even the production lady came in and laughed at me because I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I'm going great, mate.
It's like an American trying to speak Australian.
That was
so good.
Come on,
was
Kitty.
actually
when we
brilliant.
get Kitty on, I want a better effort than that. All right, Kitty, if you're listening, I hope you are. That's what you're doing. A better how you going than that. Now, look, let's talk shop. Let's talk games. We got Pentanet and Mammoth to have a chat about, and Pentanet, they've been looking pretty good recently. So I don't know how Mammoth's going to fare against them today, Skim.
Yeah, Pentagon looked really good, didn't they? Very sharp in their victory against Peace last night. It feels like it's coming together. They got their first victory against them. They've had a string of wins now, 3 on the go. So maybe they are just sort of that late bloomer with identities being formed and founded. I think we've had multiple conversations with them. They said just need more time to figure things out. And if they can continue at this pace, then they can certainly push higher in the standings for playoffs.
That's what they're looking for. Now, Mammoth hunting for that 5th position. And to get there, they need to not lose today, because if they do lose, it's dire of securing the 5th and final playoff spot, Rusty.
Yeah, do or die for Mammoth. And, I mean, if they are going to lose, can we make it a little bit longer than 16 minutes is the takeaway that I have for this one today. PGG are a very good team, right? And they're in very good form right now. And they're definitely going to be experiencing a bit of a David and Goliath type matchup here. You can't disrespect Mammoth, though. If you give them any kind of in, they will still have the tools to try and snowball the game out. It's just that PGG are a team that have a lot of class about them and a whole lot of aggression.
Yeah.
So Mammoth are going to have a hard time actually keeping up to the measure of them, unless they, to be honest, I don't think you're against just taking the game to a chaos state, right? Like just throwing everything at PGG, being unpredictable. I think that's something that PGG are very good at. So if you can match that, a game state of chaos is probably good for both teams. It means that Mammoth will get through the early game with some kind of strength.
I think it's a great day for Mammoth to start to pull out all these pocket picks. We've heard of different ones throughout the split so far, but look, they've got to be pulling something out in this final chance to make it to the playoffs. They have to take out every single stop, let go of the brakes, hit that accelerator skimmy, see if they can reach one GPD, 1 WPD actually, win per day.
Yeah.
What they actually need.
Yeah, I think for them it's been pretty rough, right? We talked about Super Week for them and how they sort of had to wrangle through all the best teams in back-to-back succession. I guess you can make the statement that since we've been on, 1204, the last 4 games have been pretty rough as well. They've been up against a lot of the heavy hitters. They're up against another one tonight in PGG.
Yeah.
So, this is how you form your teams, but certainly if morale's ever low, if you're feeling pretty rough because you've had these 60-minute defeats or these devastating 7k goal deficits at 15 minutes, you need something.
It's their chance to bounce back. We've seen so many teams do it this split, and it's Mammoth's chance. Kitty, it's your time to shine.
How are ya? Going, mate? Well, Mac, hopefully you've been doing great tonight. Let's bring in Voice to see how his night has progressed through. So, Voice, you are the 3rd game for tonight, and let's talk about PGG. So, Bipantha actually previously said that you are the most improved player this split. Do you have anything to respond to that? And do you have anyone that you think improved alongside you this split?
I think he's delusional. I think I got worse as the split's gone on because I think we've lost more games in the second half than we have in the first. I think Mayfan has improved a lot there. I think he went from at the start of this LCO split just being a carry jungle player. He didn't really know how to play a lot of these facilitated junglers. He would just be caught power farming a lot, and now he's definitely come into a lot more of a jungler. So I'd say he's probably the most improved.
Well, we do see Mammoth transitioning into a voice carry type comp in their recent games, but that aside, we all are cultured people watching the LCO, so do you have any anime recommendations to recommend to the fans while LCO isn't online?
If you're not watching JoJo or you haven't seen JoJo, it's probably why you're 1,000 LP lower than you should be.
Well, I don't watch JoJo. Maybe I should be 2000 LP in reality. Well, thank you for the tip, boys. I will go watch JoJo right now, and best of luck in your game.
Thank you.
Who?
Found an Ovally fan. That's all I'm gonna say.
I like voice. I liked voice more before that interview. How about that? Let's put it.
Do you not know
that way.
JoJo?
No, remember there was the thing the other day. Those pictures of
the
people in the
pose
real
reference.
world, and I was like, "You're like, oh, that's from JoJo," and I was like, "Who's JoJo?" And everyone laughed. No one actually explained to me what it was.
Yep.
But look, their fan vote, get your points in, and you can predict for me, and you can see it here. Look, I'm doing all right in predictions. Thanks to you guys in Twitch chat. We've been getting some dubs. We've been getting some dubs together, you and me. Haha, we'll make it to the top one day, sons and daughters and gyms. You know, PGG, Skimmy, why?
What was that? Honestly, these accents have been broken more and more by the second.
Just trying to save Kitty.
Yeah, fair enough. You're a fantastic host and a friend, aren't you? Yeah, why have I gone PGG? I just think they found it. I think they've certainly risen up to the occasion of dusting off some of those cobwebs. They're looking a lot stronger, looking a lot more cohesive as a team, playing together. Maybe the communication has been found at an even level where they aren't all on different pages. So yeah, more power to them.
More power to them. Kitty, talk to me. Who have you chosen? I saw it was Pentanet, but why are they taking the cake?
Well, every jungler in the LCO from the two I've interviewed, which was Kevy and I believe Arthur, said that Balkan is the most fun jungle to verse in the stage games, and I do believe that Balkan is the core puzzle for the core piece for the puzzle, and that's why if Balkan does well, PGG does well.
Okay, well, look, now that that's all been said, I think Champ Select's not too far away. Are we going to see any crazy picks? Because we got a Shyvana last game, and it's time to find out the answer to that right now. Champ Select's ready for game bloody 3. Let's go.
Let's go indeed, yes. 1-1 head-to-head between these two teams, which sounds a little bit funny to say, doesn't it, Rusty?
How you going, mate? Let's get into the draft, mate. No, you're right.
End it.
Sorry, I've got Mac in my face. I'll continue to be. You know, when Hysterics was on, we got exceptionally more Australian. I never realized. I haven't said this to Mac yet, but Kyosei messaged me. He's like, I couldn't tell who was talking. Like,
Yeah.
we all just regressed back to like Australian caveman levels. So
It's true,
good
though.
to have you back, Skimmy, because we speak English again.
We do. Look, it happens to the best of us, right? Anytime I go back to England, I also become a lot more British. So it's just a piece of the puzzle of being a part of those different surroundings. What are we going to see come out here from PGG? Well, we heard also from Pradev, sometimes it's Aphelios, sometimes it's Jinx. I'm not going to reveal why, but there is a recipe behind why I'm locking this in as the first pick.
He doesn't give us anything, does he? He's a mystery man. But look, Jin's going to be the response here. This is, you know, Caitlyn is available. It was just the Zeri that was going to be taken off the board for priority picks. Aphelios was also available.
Yeah.
And we know Mammoth is a team that has Voice as the primary carry. So this is very different to perhaps what we're used to seeing from them. I'm going to float this idea literally every time, Skimmy, that we see a Jhin and a Hecarim first 3. It's that it's a Yuumi angle. And if they have a Tahm Kench on the other side, then perhaps it really is just a case of scale as best you can with a Yuumi as your third pick here. Go into the ban phase. But, you know, at the same time, Rocco does have some pocket picks, and this is one of them.
It is, yeah, he loves the Zillion. This will be now his 4th game on the Zillion, tying that with his Nautilus as well. The first time Voice will be playing Jhin as well. If you look at his match history, he's played a different AD carry every single game. Compare that with Pradev, it really has been alternating. Jinx, Aphelios. It's just the two. Doesn't need to worry, because it's putting in the results that they need.
Definitely true. Second ban phase here as well. We've got the exact same champions actually locked in here across the first 3 picks. So mid lane is one of the things that... Actually, you know what? Zillion is flexible. I'll just throw that one out there just quickly. Reef Fury may be able to play the Zillion. The predictability of Tron's champion pool is something that I think we should be addressing here for PGG coming into the pick ban phase. That Poppy, I believe, is a ban away from Mayfun just because Lee Sin is locked in. But Hecarim is already there, so again, it's a top lane flex ban. And you can see smiles across the Mammoth boys. Hard to know what Mammoth are going to go for when their backs are against the wall.
Really has been Tron or Tien at the forefront of looking in Poppy top, right? So it is always going to be an exciting time when meta is deviated away from, and those picks have to be addressed and be respected more so than anything. The Yuumi coming out as well. As you say, there is a consideration that Yuumi could still be locked in with the Zillion flexing to mid, but now that it's banned, the Rise is locked in.
Yeah, Rise still up and available. So if that is the case, right, and the flex was called, which is what's logical there, Mammoth will still pick up what we have been saying is probably the best mid laner right now. Just for what it can provide for the map, right? Like a Hecarim and a Rise together, Rise does have gank set up for the Hecarim, and the Hecarim clears incredibly fast, so they could get active around the Rift, push in lanes, and just start roaming. A Jhin and a Zillion doesn't scream gankable, but it has decent setup, right? They have a W that can combo with a Zillion stun. There is still tools there to set up for ganks, and I think it's more a case of like getting the Hecarim kills though. We'll see what they choose to do it and what this last pick's going to be, because Tron hasn't been touted as a hard carry player by any means. Does tend to veer more towards the tanks, but we've seen the big Vladimir performances, right? We've still seen some carry champions there.
He's been absent for a while though. He certainly has been put on tank duties in the last few weeks, as opposed to sort of the way he burst into the scene. Akshan, yes! We will get ourselves one. The first time, and almost like you called it, we wanted carries, so here's a carry.
It just felt like we needed one top, right? Like just looking at their draft overall, I mean the Rise could flex top Akshan mid is also still a possibility, but their composition definitely wanted someone else that felt just a little bit more like a carry when bot lane is full facilitative. Rise is good for push, has decent damage, but isn't a 1v9 carry with the standard meta builds right now, and Hecarim can do some crazy damage, but there's already a Tahm Kench to kind of diffuse that if he was the sole carry option. So we'll just have to see just how flexible this is, and if it is in fact the Rise top lane and an Akshan mid, or if it is just going to be the Akshan top.
Yeah, I think we talked about it when we had a segment out asking for more of this champion, sort of why it can feel stronger in top lane, more terrain to hit, longer lane to run down, and
much safer, yeah, against ganks.
Your ranged attack, but you're going to be matched by the mini now in that regard, so he still is quite volatile. Might be preferring to take it into the Akali then to utilize that ranged advantage, but when you put Yuri on this champion, also his first performance on the Akali, combo that with the Lee Sin, you got very aggressive two assassins in your face, much to their credit, which has sort of made them be the team to be feared as a duo.
Without a doubt. I mean, Balkan and Yuri working together is going to be nightmare fuel for anyone that they walk into. Just as a duo, they have so much damage out of these champions. Mayfun will need to respect. Fury, I mean, Akali into Akshan isn't the most seen competitive matchups. Give me, it's not something that we're going to be intimately familiar with. But I would imagine that Fury is just going to focus on pushing and leaving his lane early. Probably is going to be a Q-Max type build just for extra pressure in lane. I don't know if many Akshans go for the E-Max anymore. It's been nerfed a fair bit. And for Yuri, again, high energy costs early, so wants to scale into the game. I wouldn't be surprised to see it ignite, and I wouldn't be surprised to see more aggression from level 6.
We will just have a rush level 6 and a passive there until then. Regardless, the Zillion is going to be rather exciting. Certainly, Rocco has his work cut out for him to guarantee that somebody comes back from the afterlife for a second chance to try and turn the tides off this battle. PGG coming into this one with a record of 10-6, currently sat in third. Mammoth still with a shot to make it to playoffs, but the odds certainly are against them. Going to see what they can do.
Watch Rogue here, Skimmy. I don't know if we'll have time for an interview because a level 1 W.
Straight in, blind, a flash forwards. And that's looking pretty good so far, as you say. Kill confirmed.
Do we still have time for the interview is the question. Easy first blood though.
That's a good question. And we will throw it out there. Word from production that we're ready to rock and roll. So let's jump into the coaching interview and forget that ever happened. Ro, from the side of Mammoth, first of all, how's it going?
It's going well.
That's always good to hear. I have to ask, really, you're on the receiving end of last night's record, right? Given that Chiefs were in pretty hot form. But, you know, results aside and sort of the last few games aside, with the remaining few games, what would a win be for you?
For me, a win is go into game and we show a lot of improvement. Because obviously we have picked up wins against Gravitas and Kangaroo and such, right? But I think the main thing is from start of the split to now, we haven't shown that we're really gotten stronger even if we have improved. So I would really like for us to win a game where everyone's like, wow, that was played really, really well. And that would be a win for me.
Yeah, so focusing on the fundamentals and getting a win that you can feel proud of, no doubt about it. But in terms of sort of the champions, we are seeing a lot of variation come out from you guys in the last few games. Is it a case of let's use these weeks now to try and sort of see what we can achieve with different ideas, different strategies?
Definitely. I think Ceres was interviewed, right? And he talked about the kind of just throw everything at the wall, try just do whatever you want after you've lost playoffs contention. Obviously we haven't, right? But certainly from the beginning as a new team, we're in it to learn, right? So we are finding ourselves, we're trying everything, seeing what we can do.
Fantastic. Well, I love the answer, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you boys can put off in this game.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Oh, let's give it way back into it.
Certainly are. I was hesitant for a second there whether or not a kill would happen whilst the coaching interview went on. We got the first blood and we're going to get ourselves a potential kill here onto Balkan. In jumps Rogue. Balkan survives, flashes away into the winning arms of Mayfarn. He's safeguarded away, no way. Surely he's killed. Yes, the pounce is there. The horses turned on and ready to rock and roll. Praetor flashing forward. The summoner heal gets the reset, but
Mayfarn
may not just be enough. Rogue, he wants to dive away. He has to flash away as he hits the lick and he hits the stun.
Jeez, that was close to a triple there for the Hecarim, and Mayfarn would have been an absolute tyrant. That was insane, and this comes back to, like, you know, when you're playing against Pentanet.gg, they're skill checking. Balkan, on vision, Voice walks forwards towards him to auto-attack. He's confident to take the play. Heal and exhaust come out, and then the flash from Rocco to secure the stun. Thinks he has it, but then you've got the Conqueror, you've got the W that comes back on, and actually Voice leaving there does mean that Balkan gets to do this, and buys an incredible amount of time. Praetor will flash because the turret was about to aggro onto him. If he gets excited, potentially running up there instead of down could have saved him as well, or at least made it a lot safer for Rogue to walk out instead of flashing, but nevertheless, 3-2, very early.
Very early on, and this is what you've grown to expect, really, from PGG Games, is they will take those skill checks, they will hunt for those kills, but Mammoth will certainly entertain the idea as well. We've seen very different playstyle coming out of Mayfarn Sekram this time around. I think when he first played it was all about, you know, farming up a Storm, becoming as fed as he could be individually, but this time, right place, right time, and able to punish.
Yeah, very much right place, right time. Not often that you'd see him going hard towards bottom. Well, speaking of right place, right time, Balkan does have a level advantage. This Krug camp will get him very close, you would expect.
But not Balkan affords him that.
As, dead.
Okay, well, yeah, cool. A kill's just happened in the bot lane, but we're still going to look at top side as there's still pressure. It's a 2v2. Winter is just going to leap away.
This was the lane that you would actually assume you might see some more Hecarim ganks towards. If Balkan really just got his finger on the pulse, knows where the Hecarim's going to be anyway, and instead of just pinging careful, walks in, puts his face in there and says, "G'day, this Krug camp is contested." Refury.
Oh, he's in trouble. Mayfarn's here to back him up. Is it enough? Balkan has been deterred. He's forced to walk away. He's hit the smite for some healing. But Yuri wasn't close enough. He couldn't safeguard there. And much like Rocco runs back to lane,
Rocco
just dead again.
They're between waves, farming bot. This wave is about to crash, so if they wanted to stay, they could have, but they're just going to go the safe way back around. Minions will crash. Rocco has been sufficiently cheesed. And, I mean, we'll see what happens the first time, right? Rogue level 3 to level 2. Rocco just gets hit by the W, and really it's as simple as following that one up. Rogue does bulk of the damage there. But on the guaranteed knock-up, at least the zap will connect. What we did also see, and I'm quite concerned for Balkan in that respect, is he ward hops forwards to try and take out Refury. He just doesn't have E. Which probably would have been lethal with an auto, and legitimately just dies in the Raptor pit. This is the type of stuff that Balkan is susceptible to.
Yeah, that's why we love him.
That's it, Scrim's on stage.
He's always going to try something exciting. In jumps Rogue, in your face, there's a dive. Instantly goes golden as well. Ward goes down. As they want to keep tabs on where he is. Balkan cops it, and exhaust was burnt.
That's just very aggressive. Ult pop.
Certainly looking for it right now. Winter does have the stun. He can't connect. Must have been burnt already. Looked like it was up and available. Just let Tron get out.
It would have been very close to being up and available at the very least. But yeah, chooses to have the disengage regardless. Refury and Yuri The Reef, Yuri, Juro are going to be roaming from mid. Teleport's going to be used back towards top lane as well, so they're not looking to hard contest this Drake with 5 members. The question is, do they contest it at all? And Hecarim going back to base here confirms it is gone. When in reality, I feel like if they did look for it, there was a chance.
Not to be the case here though. It just feels so rough for the spot lane. I mean, the fact that you lost that minion wave, you were zoned away, you come back to the lane, you're dead again. It's just very hard now for Voice to try and match this Jinx, which has double the CS and a whole host of kills with a bounty this early on.
Another invade. I mean, Balkan, has he touched his own jungle camps? Is the question.
You just look at the minimap, right? It's all available. He doesn't care. Having more fun being a part of your side.
Just invade off cooldown. Every single camp is challenged. This is nightmare fuel for anyone who plays solo queue jungle with teams that don't rotate to help, but a little bit too fast this time around, so red buff will be his. Krug cycling. I mean, it makes sense from Mayfan in terms of how he wants the path. I like Krug's Raptors to the red if you're going to look for a gank after. Full clear from top to bottom as well with blue buff ready to go. Mid lane's felt fairly quiet, to be honest. The one kill that we've seen Rikiri involved in was the Lee Sin just dying at his Raptor pit.
Yeah. That has been the calmest place amongst the storm of action that we have seen. I do like the priority from Balkan to continually invade, right? Trying to limit the economy that Mayfan can find. He's obviously very fed with free kills, but make sure that this horse doesn't become unstoppable to sort of drive forward momentum for kills, for fights, for objective control, because PGG certainly want to be in the driving seat for that themselves.
Mayfan level 6 is hovering mid. Has Rocco nearby, but not going to get the movement speed before the play because they're on different sides of the lane. It looks like the play may not have... Actually, walking into the river here kind of opens the floor. They're so afraid. They're going to be so sad they missed that window right now.
Oh, the flash away, but it doesn't matter. Winter still connects. That was gorgeous.
Yeah, really nicely done from Winthry, and that's the thing. Mammoth are going to be so sad they missed the play mid.
Yuri?
And Yuri.
I think he's got lethal. Oh no, he's going to perfect execution away. Rocco flashing in front to cancel the ult, but also just a body block more than anything. And surely time can chaz this.
That's an easy kill. Curtains are open.
They've been opened, and they may now be blinded by the light. It's not the weekend, it ain't karaoke, but 3v1.
Kratos does. Oh no.
Oh
no.
Oh, Voice! You lucky devil! Here he gets it though, doesn't he?
Why is it so hard to dive Kratos and Raze? Like, these two players are just so difficult that it doesn't matter how many people are there. You're going to have a hard time with it. Pretty rough from Mammoth. And again, the point that I'm trying to get across is that Belkai... Oh my god, hold that.
Run it back. We just saw this play happen literally a minute ago.
I've decided I'm not going to break the game down. I'm just going to join you in play-by-play.
Yes!
So
a rare treat. Rusty play-by-play.
We're genuinely starting to run out of time to do things other than call the plays as they happen. Tron the Pomp, just for his item choices here as well, that almost got me. He's gone straight towards a Lost Chapter after the tier, where he could have potentially rushed Boots. And into a double physical damage topside, I don't think it would have been a bad decision to go like tier and plated steel caps. If your goal is to be strong in lane. But even now, right, like he's got the Lost Chapter, he's got the tier, he's gone for a health crystal with his cloth armor. That makes me think that he probably has magical footwear. I'm going to have to confirm that one and get back to you, but...
Sure.
He doesn't. I don't have an answer for you now.
I was going to say, he certainly should have an easier way of clearing these waves in an AP matchup, going to a whole break and then say, a Gragas, for example. But
that's true.
Will regardless still be rather immobile. Winter may just say, I've got boots, you don't. Got a defensive round walk.
Weak side Titan, that is the Rise top lane right now. Doesn't matter what champion it is, Tron. Nice ward.
Yeah, burns out of control ward, right? Make sure they can clear it. Mayfine was there, spotted out.
No, but like actually placing that ward, Skimmy, is 500 IQ minimum. That's a ward that someone who can actually tie a tie would place. That's all I'm saying.
Rogue's going to rename himself at this state, just PGG Dapper.
Good work. He's the only one that I've seen actually wear a suit and play. There is legitimately just 4 people down.
We're just
here
holding
trying
hands
to
in
defend
bot
the
lane.
turret. Yeah.
We really are. Second dragon to spawn. Balkan's confused, scratching his head, saying, "Why are you all there?"
So
Might as well
what's
just
the
start this
point?
up.
Yeah, like what's the point in bringing everyone down here if you're just going to watch them take the objectives in front of you anyway?
Here we go for this. Got Rogue. Rogue has no flash, but it would have had devoured, dive devoured to save him. He went for that outlandish play.
Hellcard would. I feel like I was afraid he would take that one. Even then, somehow he'd find a way to resonating strike that. Red buff going to be taken. That's legit. That's the 3rd red buff, right? That's being, or 2nd in a row that's being contested. Go with all of the other jungle camps, and the 4-man effort to defend bot lane still results in the turret taken solo by Praetor.
From bot to top we go. We're just hanging out. A couple of gamers having fun on the rift. Protecting Winterer, who's working his way to a 2nd turret. Will have had his whole breaker disabled, whether or not Tron was aware of that. Never know. Balkan has finally been told to get out of our side of the map.
Turret plating will fall soon.
We're just watching. We're just appreciating.
Oh no!
Maybe one of the saddest flashes you'll ever see.
The Q had already hit as well.
Onslaught of Shadows, Mayfine having a crack at things, but that Q's also connected. That kill will be picked up by Praetor instead. A series of rather unfortunate events.
Holy cow, man. It's just so tragic. Vision is going to spot Belkan walking top, so just watch Tron.
Well, I like that Winter. Nearly tried to bounce in midair with the stun from his W. Doesn't matter regardless. It's the ult into the wall. Rest of the team rock up. Boys answers back with conviction. There's one. Can he take out Balkan? The rest of his team is waiting for it. They will gift him it. Big shutdown.
Yeah. They actually did well to gift it to him for someone that didn't have weapons back to attack yet. Needed to reload the gun real quick. PGG still controlling the map. It's just, again, you've got some crazy, crazy decisions coming out of... I can't believe we're watching this again.
No, don't do it to him.
Just hits the auto attack, red buff there, and flash. Oh, no.
How do you do?
It's just, oh man, why did we replay that? Even the Lee Sin Q had hit before he flashed.
Well, as a wise man once said, you do get that sometimes, and he did get got.
Yeah, he got hard out though. Herald's up and ready to go, but we're just going to have a quick fight over the blue buff side of the map there. Yuri going to walk top lane. Here's a nice little wave that Winterer has prepared earlier. Things just going very nicely. GGG, and they're definitely having some fun in this game at the moment. Yet to see that one proactive thing that we want to see, right? That piece of proactivity that makes you say that's really good from Mammoth.
Well, here we
They're
go.
trying now.
They certainly are trying. Out of range from that Curtain's Call, which makes it easy for the Devourer to mitigate all that damage. Rogue acting as a bodyguard says thank you very much.
We just get to actually walk away. There's definitely a world where Mayfine perhaps uses the ultimate to push Rogue back towards his team, so the spit out wasn't going to be as safe. They're going to try again though.
Round 2, the speed up is there, and yeah, denied by the Chompers. And it's frustration really for Mammoth because they're trying to force a play in mid with a numbers advantage, but it is getting smashed in the side lanes.
That was actually, I feel like Hecarim just pushed back Harm Kench as he got out of his W. That was odd. Anyway, Inhibitor is threatened in top lane. Yuri Belkan, very short range champion, does his rogue. So they have to fight their way to the Inhibitor if they want to try and take it.
Yuri getting pretty with it. And he's got the Rift Maker, so infinite sustain rather than the Hextech Protobelt to get it in their face and combo. In jumps Balkan. The energy duo, if you will.
Oh.
Certainly showcasing what they can do. Both having a crack at things inside the base of Mammoth at 16 minutes.
Oh
Looking
my
to try and pressure accordingly.
Again, deja vu to last night's game.
Certainly are. Another turret taken down in the mid lane. And we're waiting for that initial kill. Yuri jumps in, instant exhaust. That perfect execution may not be perfect enough. Damage has been dampened. The damage has been done.
And frankly, they will not be breaking the Chiefs' record anytime soon. 17 minutes to still break 2 inhibitors is incredibly fast. Third inhibitor left standing to take down as try working out who that player was. Skimmy by the signature.
Look, I tell you what, I looked away. Here we are looking at other stats. As you said, I was confirming 16:58 was that shortest
I
game.
think it's Genji Na, so I'm guessing QV, but that is definitely not legible. Definitely like your dad's signature for parcels.
You know what I've always really misunderstood is doctor's signatures. Do you just learn that from studying for 10
No,
years and
so
just
the
giving
thing
up?
with doctor's signatures, right? Imagine how many things they have to sign.
It's true.
No shot they actually care what it looks like. As long as it says loosely their name, like if you say, oh, this is I'm Dr. Abrams, or I just picked a random name.
But you know
If
my
you
concern
look
with
at
that?
it, you're like, maybe I can see an A, I'll pass it. That's really how we are with
My
signatures.
concern is always how easy would it then be for somebody to copy? Because I tell you what, back in my heyday at high school, if there was ever a time you needed your parents to sign something, I would have a crack at trying to scribe my
have
my
a
parents'
crack?
one.
You know,
Absolutely.
I have a locally digital version of my parents' signature just in case.
Pull up the phone and say my parents have given me permission.
Yeah. So go back to school, I'm ready to go. I'm just sick that whole week.
We're certainly 10 steps ahead of me then. PGG onto that third and final inhibitor. As Yuri's going to go golden, he's going to try and bait out all their pressure, try and take down one in the process of it. Mayfun goes in. Their tag team is a bit of a wrestling match right now. They haven't had the kill confirmed. Winter now says it's my time to shine. He jumps in 1v5, and they are finding nothing, but this is dangerous. They're flirting with danger. Mammoth is certainly keen to try and take down as many kills as they can in this. They found one so far, and it's still not at risk of dying. The
There's
Devour
one,
is
though.
there. There is
Oh,
Prey
that's a
now,
penta.
and that is surely it. But it's not to be, because Balkan, like he's done all split long, keeps stealing these pentas. Better than a triple kill, is going to be content with that alone. 19 minutes in, and PGG are threatening the Nexus. Looking to wrap things up here in week number 7. And
That's an execute. Fountain does a whole lot of damage there, Skibby. They're going to just try and hunt Mayfun, but they're too low range. There's no shot, man. The game's got to end.
that it does. Done and dusted, 11-6 now for PGG. Really having fun with it, and it was a game that really from the inception, an early first blood where we don't see too many of those level 1 plays take place, transpiring into what was then a very crazy event for a Hecarim to rock up and find free. So as far as things were projected, it was all about what would kills actually result in.
It was a fun game, and I think that the biggest thing for me was that Mammoth didn't really understand how to play for their own lead generation. Like, what I got from this game is that PGG were just crazy, and I think you could watch that game back and be like, they were exposed here, they were open here, they had a flank available here. Like, all this is the list of things we could have done, but the pressure from PGG was just so consistent, it kind of overwhelmed them, and they stopped making proactive plays themselves because they were just stuck reacting.
Yeah, and I think you brought it up quite well. The hesitation at times when they're trying to make a play, but always concerned as to where PGG were. And I think that's the class, Mac, that PGG have. They are going to be making so many plays at once that you can, in some cases, start to second guess yourself.
That's it, right? But look, the main thing from that game has nothing to do with the two teams that were in the game. It's that Direwolves are now locked in for playoffs. So there's no way that any of the bottom 3 teams can catch back up to them. So big dub from PGG, making it look very solid today. But the biggest winner here wasn't even playing the damn game, Rusty.
Yeah, I mean, the game itself, Mac, was definitely not... I don't know if Dales were ever worried, I think is my first look at this one, Mac. It was quite a one-sided affair. The early skirmish, though, the one that you just saw, perhaps. But then things like this started to happen, and it goes all kinds of wrong for Mammoth. Mayfun dies. I said it during the game back, what is up with trying to dive these Jinx players? It just doesn't work.
Yeah, they just seem to be so well equipped, or maybe just have the moves to deal with it every single time. We saw like a couple of misplays, couple of missed flashes here and there from Mammoth as well, and maybe there was room for improvement. There was definitely room for a little more success on a lot of these gank attempts. But look, Mayfan, he wasn't lacking in the confidence department, going 1-on-3 in situations like that, knowing he had the tower with him, but it wasn't enough, and unfortunately for him, it turned out being a big fat L. So very unfortunate. That being said, Mayfan himself did have a pretty good performance alongside Voice for Mammoth. But look, Tron was having a rough time in the top lane. Couldn't do a whole lot up against Winterer there. Just had to keep on using his ult defensively. I don't know, did he use it offensively at all, like one time this game? Or was it always just like a get out of jail card skin?
Yeah, it didn't look like they could ever really use it to drive home a play, more so to try and, on the tail end, survive really the pressure that Jinx and the team were putting forward.
Jinx of the team, that's it, right? Look at the total damage dealt. It was a sub 20-minute game and he almost did 20k damage. That's a big effort coming out from Prey Diff down on that bot lane. Everyone, though, doing their job. No one falling behind. Even Rogue, like the man, he doesn't have a huge amount of damage there, but he did a lot. He enabled a lot of the early players and enabled PGG just to get that early lead. So big dub from everyone on the likes of PGG, starting to find that consistency up against the likes of Mammoth today. Now they just need to carry that across into the next couple of weeks, because that's where we need to head. But look, 13k gold diff, that's a pretty big diffy in the Tiffy.
Tiffy? Team? Tiffy?
Tiffy? Tiffy's top though.
It's a Giffy Diffy.
Giffy Diffy.
It's a Giffy Diffy.
Oh, but then you start to trigger people. Is it GIF or GIF? And we're not going to open up that can of worms.
Let's not.
That's really not. We've already
We've already had shoes and socks.
We've had a drama with the socks, eh?
I don't know. I think I've heard one person ever, unironically, call it a GIF.
Yeah.
And I just laughed because I thought they were joking, and then they looked at me.
Dead
and
serious.
I was like,
"What's
oh
funny,
my
Mac?"
god, holy shit, you aren't joking. And then we moved along with whatever the hell that was. I can't even remember when that happened. Anyway, someone that pronounces everything correctly, including Australian accents, is Kitty. So let's see how she's gone throughout the game, working on that accent.
Well, guys, I'm just gonna put my 2 cents here. It's girlfriend, not girlfriend, so it's GIF, not GIF. And I believe Predith, who also has really good English in terms of vocabulary and pronunciation. So let's bring him in for his insight. So, Predith, is it GIF or GIF?
It's GIF. If I've been trying to be too extra if you say GIF. No offense to everyone.
Well, you heard it from Predith. You're too extra if you say GIF. GIF, sorry. Mix it up. But let's talk about Jinx. So, what's with Jinxes and being ungankable in the bot lane tier 1 tower? Is it an arcane buff or is it a Prey diff?
That's a very good question. I don't know. I feel like that was like they only played the whole game. It was really obvious every time, and I knew every time they did it that they would have all died for it. So I kind of just gave my body for some triple kills, and I mean I didn't really have to outplay anything. It was just like very obvious thing. I think their draft was like really one-dimensional. All these like bottom of the standings teams like pick these like unrealistic late game comps, and they think that they're gonna like see the dream of hitting late game, but unfortunately we have the best jungler in the region, so he will just like dive you guys, literally 2v1 dive you guys at level 1, so you can't really play the game like that against my team.
And I have my suspicions, and please confirm if I'm right. You guys are currently picking Jinx against the lower standing teams because you want to break the Chiefs' record?
What's the Chiefs record?
The fastest game time.
I'd pick Affiliates if I wanted that, for like red-white, and yeah, I mean I'd definitely pick Affiliates if I wanted that, but I don't really care what Chiefs are doing, to be honest. They can do what they want. Like sub 20 minutes is
Fair
is
enough.
fine.
And would you rather have a more traditional enchanter like the Lulu and Janna, or do you more prefer the chunky boy like Tahm Kench for the bot lane matchups?
Lulu, Nami, no explanation needed.
Well, if you're a Lulu Nami main, please hit up Prey Div. He is glad to lane with you in the bot lane. Well, I'm gonna let you go and play with your Lulu Nami duo. Best of luck, Prey Div, with your duo, and have a good night.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, he said it straight. Look, anyone that does say GIF is definitely too extra. But Kitty, I found some flaw, a little bit of flaw. Oh, I guess no, you're going with GI. I'm not even going to bring it up because then it's weird. But I have to bring it up now because I said it. So look, it's Geordie, not Gordy, but it is GE. It's not GI. So look, it's a bit irrelevant. Had to let you all in on it, or then it was weird,
Yeah,
guys.
it's fine,
It's getting weird. I'm sorry. Something that's not weird. Those the
so
bloody
weird.
Dare MVP might be weird who it's going to, but it's Rogue. Is that weird? Skimmy?
I mean, it's hard, right? I mean, I would say definitely that level 1 play is fantastic. Opens up the floodgates for Winter just to absolutely abuse the 1v1 for himself there. If he was roaming, he was limit testing, he was showcasing that I'm always in the right place to hit you with a cheeky devour to make sure that there was no real answer back there from Mammoth. So, certainly a fair shout for anybody on the team, but it's always nice to see a support get put in the limelight.
100%. Man was doing work, even if the stats don't say a whole lot here, Rusty.
Yeah, I mean, the stats aren't going to reflect too much, but level 1, he used the W over the wall, got the flash out, right? Was super aggressive in lane, had a nice stopwatch. I mean, we're not here to fault the player in a very, very chaotic game. Rogue did prosper.
He certainly did. And look, he got another MVP to his name, which means it's stolen away from Pradith, which means he's not going to be right up there with the likes of Raze. And who was the other one? Puma? Raze and Puma still leading the charge with most MVPs so far. Now, you guys at home, you're all bloody MVPs too. Why? Because you've sent in content from the fans. So let's have a look at what questions you guys need answered in your lives. Coach Mystic, if you could choose one piece of Australian/Kiwi culture to be adopted worldwide, what would it be and why? Skimmy, hit me with something for NZ.
Well, my favorite thing when I moved to New Zealand was when you're walking down the street, you would literally, as you're passing by a neighbor or just anybody for that fact, you would just say, how you going? And like, that wouldn't even be a case of like, how are you going? That was literally just saying hi. And I thought that was so awesome because I tell you what, you're in England, people just look at you and be like, why on earth are you disrupting me? So just felt so comfortable walking around and just, you know, not necessarily making friends, but you just feel safe and happy.
Do they say how you going or do they say kia ora or whatever it is?
Kia ora.
I mean, they certainly can.
See, I don't know how to pronounce it, man. I've been there one time, and then people kept saying it, and I didn't know what they were saying. And then I found out later that's what they were saying. I was like, oh, they were just being nice.
I just want to move to Chippy suburb because then we'd just be walking down the street and every single time we'd be like, stop, G.
Yeah,
and look, I'm all for that. Take me home.
Beautiful. Now, Kitty, what's a piece of Australian culture you wish was worldwide? Because you're very Australian with your accent and everything.
I am indeed very Australian. I was born in Australia and I was raised in Australia. So if I was to choose a piece of culture, Vegemite.
Oh,
True blue Aussie Kitty. Lovely answer. Now we got two more to have a look at. What other questions do we have from the people in the audience? Sir Cattle, what is the best exercise to target the lower /
I wonder
outside
who's getting
chest?
asked this one.
Really struggling to build it up. Well, you obviously wanted me to ask this one.
Go for it, man.
Hey, best exercise, lower and outside chest? I'm thinking probably bloody dips, right?
I think dips would be really good. So, like, the origin insertion point of the lower outer chest is still on your shoulder and your inner chest. So, like, you don't actually target just the outer lower chest.
Yeah.
Like, the short answer is probably just increase your range of motion and have more time under tension at, like, full extension. Because most people will cheat with, like, regular barbells. So, like, try incorporating dips or, like, dumbbells so you can have a more extended range of motion with your arms more out. And maybe even, like, medium grip push-ups where you can have like wider elbows to target it more specifically.
And in normie speak, for everyone that didn't understand that, when you're doing your flyers, when you're doing your press with the dumbbells, you want to put your elbows as far back and get a big stretch on your chest before you go back up.
My bad.
It's essentially what Rusty was trying to say. I know not everyone here is a fitness head like a few people, you know, Kitty on the desk and stuff. We got one more question though. So let's jump on into the third
Damn, he
question
set me off though.
Ooh.
He really did. I was trying to be like a bit normal with it, and then you just went in.
I had an answer.
God damn. Yeah, well, you did.
I've been
You
working
answered
on
it
that,
great.
all
Kitty, best HSP order. What is it?
I'm probably the worst person to ask.
That's
for
why I've
this.
asked you.
Oh, okay. What I would get in an HSP is, I believe, the beef one, and you get the garlic. Oh no, the trio sauce.
Oh,
It's
the Holy
garlic.
Trinity, right?
No,
The
keep
Holy
guessing, keep guessing.
Oh, go.
Okay, it's mayo. It's
Not mayo, not mayo.
You
No,
had it right
but
the
you're
first time.
thinking so
Wait,
correctly though.
It's garlic sauce.
Yes.
Yes.
It's barbecue.
Yes.
And is it red?
Is it red? Yeah, ketchup, bro. Look at Mac.
Sweet chili sauce.
No, hot chili.
What am I doing? It's too hot.
Hot chili sauce.
Yes.
man.
Thank you, Kitty. I
I love these
thought
segments.
that was pretty
No,
straightforward.
but Kitty was spot on. Like, you had it correct. You just said the wrong thing in the middle. It's fine. You still nailed it.
Thank you.
And
the
look,
right meat.
depending on if you're lactose intolerant or not, you can also get cheese, and that's kind of just like the thing, right? Now, look, before we go to a break, exclamation mail in the chat, spelled M-A-I-L, not the other way, or Moobot will tell you off, all right? And you can sign up for all the LCO giveaways and competitions. Just drop your email in. I said I might send a love letter to everyone. I haven't got that confirmed yet, but look, it is on the cards. I've been heavily thinking about it, and only share it with you guys right now. So you could get an email from me at some point, and yeah, I hope you enjoy that. Now, look, we got a fourth game to get to, Chiefs and Gravitas, and that's coming up just after the break. So don't go too far for the final game of the day. It's coming up just after this.
Mayfun goes in, their tag team is a bit of a wrestling match right now. They haven't had the kill confirmed. Winter now says it's my time to shine. He jumps in 1v5, and they are finding nothing, but it's dangerous. They're flirting with danger. Mammoth is certainly keen to try and take down as many kills as they can in this. They found one so far, and it's still not at risk of dying. The
There's
Val
one,
is
though.
there. There is
I mean,
Predator
that's a
now,
penta.
and that is surely it. But it's not to be, because Balkan, like he's done all split long, keeps stealing these